Boy, this week has been pretty. Man, I'm feeling good this week. That must have been some wedding I went to, huh? Okay, I won't bore you about the wedding anymore. Allegedly. Okay, happy Thursday, everyone. So let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. My low is the weather's been really kind of sporadic. Like yesterday, I think it rained on and off like 4 times, which, considering what's going down in Florida right now because of the hurricane, I probably shouldn't complain. But I know it's throwing a lot of people off. As well as I actually do have some friends down in Florida who are braving out the hurricane right now. So if any of you guys are watching this, I hope this finds you well. My high is, got to watch The Masked Singer. It was awesome. And I'm starting to get the hang of like how this season's going to go down. And I honestly hope the season ends like this. Like the way it's going. But we'll have to wait and see. And my act of kindness was, yesterday was a garbage day at my folks' place. So I hung out with my dad for a little while. And I got to his house before he did. And the garbage cans were empty and left out, so I brought them back inside. As well as I also emptied the dehumidifier for him. Yeah, they actually have a dehumidifier going down. I may have already told you guys this, but they have a dehumidifier in their basement, and it runs automatically. But during the summer, it really runs like clockwork. And even though we're technically not in summer anymore, it's still pretty humid outside, and it can get pretty hot when it wants to be. So there you go. So with all that taken care of, how about I start things off with my NFL pick that I have today, which is, actually let me look it up real fast. It's the Dolphins and the Bengals. I literally just put it up before I started. Yes, it's the Dolphins against the Bengals. Now, this is definitely it's something. Because the Bengals they're clearly not the team that they were a year ago. Unless it's the sort of team that gets a slow start and then really kicks things into high gear later. That could be the case. Of course, they're playing a team that's 3-0 right now in the Dolphins. So tonight's going to be a real test to see if what's been going on the last few weeks is any indication. Because tonight is going to say a few things. If the Bengals win, then it really was just down to bad luck that they lost those first 2 games to versus the Steelers and then the Cowboys. But obviously if the Bengals win, it'll also mean that the Dolphins have just been really, really, really lucky. I know they were lucky against Buffalo, don't worry. Yeah, I know the whole Buffalo is putting in their second string starters. I get that. But a loss is still a loss. I'm still bummed out by it. However, if the Dolphins wind up going 4 in a row, I'm going to have to really think things over as to how this playoff picture is going to go. Oh, don't misunderstand me. I still think that Bills are going to win the division. But now, for sure, you're going to have more than one team in the playoffs from the AFC East. So, it's a tough call. But as lucky as Miami's been getting, they've been pretty consistent. So, I'm going to pick the Dolphins to win tonight. And here's to hoping that this Sunday I actually do better with all of my NFL picks. Now then, let's talk about The Masked Singer. So, again, I mentioned earlier how I think I'm starting to get a hang of how this season's going to work. Because I said last week that only one person is going to go on who hasn't been unmasked. Last week you had, last week you had both William Shatner as the knight and Eric Idle as, what was he again? I think he was the gopher. Was he? Oh, hedgehog. Oh, he was the hedgehog. Okay. I knew it was a rodent-looking animal. And they ended last week with the hummingbird about to be unmasked, but it wasn't. And of all people, it was Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. And it's funny because the judges on The Masked Singer have been guessing Chris Kirkpatrick for this entire time. He's finally on and they don't guess him at all. And keep that in mind because that's going to pop up again later. So the way that this season really is going to work is the person who winds up moving on, in this case it was the harp, they get to perform again this week against two other new masked opponents. In this case, it was the Panther and the Pie Rat, which is actually really cool because it was a rat just as a pirate. So, Pie Rat. Okay. A decent pun. An oldie, but a goodie. And all the performances, with the exception of maybe the Pirates, they were great. Panther did a Feeling Good by Nina Simone, which, I'll be honest, I need to listen to me some more Nina Simone because, okay, one of my favorite songs that I've ever seen end a movie, what sometimes when a movie ends, they play a really good song for through the beginning of the credits? Back in 2016, when I saw the movie The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Take Care of Business by Nina Simone was playing, and I fell in love with that song. I should also tell you should watch The Man from U.N.C.L.E. It was really good. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is a good movie. Henry Cavill, Armie Hammer, yeah, they were cool. And, well, I am blanking on the actress who was the female lead in that movie. But she was really good, too. Everyone was really good in that movie, actually. Okay, right, so the Panther did Feeling Good by Nina Simone. The Pirate did Crocodile Rock by Elton John, and I felt really bad because, okay, here's a story. Years ago, it was actually after I graduated from Trinity Poly, the summer after I graduated from Trinity Poly, I finally worked up the nerve and I finally did a Twin Tiers Idol. Basically, Twin Tiers Idol was a singing contest, and if you win, you had an opportunity to at least try an audition for American Idol. Back when American Idol was big. American Idol is still a cultural phenomenon now, but at that time, man, it was huge. It was real huge. And the first song I did in Twin Tiers Idol was Crocodile Rock by Elton John, and that's what the Pirate did last night. And, okay, look, it's obvious that the Pirate was just there for fun, but I can tell you right now, with being completely nerved with stage fright, because here's the thing, I get stage fright like no one's business. I just do a great job of hiding it, if we're being honest. But I could sing Crocodile Rock better than the Pirate. And before I continue, because obviously the Pirate was one of the two people that got unmasked, it was really funny because it was Vegas night on The Masked Singer, and we got a special opening performance by the Peacock himself, Donny Osmond, which, if you remember way back in the first episode of The Masked Singer, way back in season 1, it was the Peacock who wound up being Donny Osmond, and the Peacock got to the final 2 in that season. Pretty cool. So it was great seeing Donny sing again on that stage. Anyone can hear Donny Osmond sing, but, being on stage in The Masked Singer, that was pretty cool. And there were times he was making fun of like the pirate and Donnie were making fun of each other, and Donnie figured out who it was. And no kidding, it was Jeff Dunham, and he was right. Like, this is probably the first instance that I personally have known in which a guest judge got the answer right. To my knowledge, anyway, that's happened. I mean, the last time anything like that happened, I forget what season it was, but it was the season where Gabriel Iglesias was a guest judge, and the female singer that was on stage, he thought it was Amanda Seyfried, and so did I. It was Amanda Seyfried. I forget what seasons, but this was a while ago. Hey, look, the seasons don't come every that often, man. You gotta. It's hard to remember all this stuff. Okay. So, after the pirate was a mess and turned to be Jeff Dunham, they had their first battle royale. Basically, I forgot to mention the Panther did Feeling Good by Nina Simone, the pirate did Crocodile Rock by Elton John, and the harp, who had to defend her title as queen, did I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston, which, I mean, doing Whitney Houston's kind of a bold risk when you think about it. I mean, it's Whitney flipping Houston. You know, don't play your best card too soon, man. I'm just saying. I mean, there's no surprise that between the Panther and the harp won the battle royale. And it was really interesting how they did it. They both did the exact same song, but their own way. And the judges had to vote who won. And because Donny Osmond was a guest judge, that means there's 5 judges. Meaning that the most likely of outcomes will be either 4 votes to 1 or 3 votes to 2. Basically, if you get 3 votes or more, you win. Obviously, they don't disclose who voted for who, but the harp ended up winning. And it was really cool because both the Panther and the harp did their own really great renditions of Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf, and they were great. But yeah, as soon as I heard the harp sing that song, like, she's got it. And remember how I said earlier how over the course of this series, the judges have tried to guess it was Chris Kirkpatrick underneath the mask? Well, whenever they see someone tall, there's usually someone that they guess. And the Panther was a very tall person. And they didn't guess this person this time, and it wound up being the person that they were always guessing, but it wasn't. The Panther was Montel Jordan. And then the episode ended with Montel singing one of his classic songs, which, funny enough, I heard this song at the wedding I was just at. This is how we do it. Okay, that's it. I can only do that much unless, well, I'll be honest, I've never been monetized for these videos. I would like to be. But on the odd chance I ever do get monetized one day, I gotta be really careful about what I sing or whatever. So what I just sang, that's about all I can do. Although it was really funny because Nick Cannon actually figured out who was underneath the mask. And as the Panther was getting unmasked, he says, "This is how we do it here on The Masked Singer." It was a tribute to obviously one of Montel Jordan's songs. And it was Montel Jordan. The judges were like freaking out, "Oh, we always guess him, but we didn't do it this time." So, needless to say, both Chris Kirkpatrick and Montel Jordan, for being 2 of the most guest celebrities on The Masked Singer, they did a great job of disguising themselves. Metaphorically speaking, I mean, they're wearing a mask, but you get what I mean. So, with that said, the harp still remains the queen of The Masked Singer, and she shall continue her reign for the foreseeable future. As in, she keeps performing until someone finally beats her. And that really could be any time. It could be next week. It could be for the finale of the season. We don't know. But I do know that it's been a fun season so far. I can't wait to see what happens next. So the Dolphins are playing the Bengals tonight. I got the Dolphins winning. We got the new season of Hot Ones kicks off today. I'm so excited. It's going to be David Blaine as the guest. I already talked about him being on my experiences with David Blaine, so I don't need to go into it there. Actually, one thing I didn't mention is I do believe David Blaine also has the record for holding your breath underwater the longest. I think he did that. I forgot to say that the other day. But yeah, there you go. So this will be a very interesting episode. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some magic related saying, something like, ooh, is David Blaine going to use magic and illusions to handle the wings of death? Well, he is, did I say Chris Angel? Can you tell I'm very tired, by the way? Oh, boy. So, is David Blaine going to do it? I mean, he will. I mean, he's got this. It's David Blaine. But it does emphasize my point that any celebrity is fair game for being on Hot Ones. Which makes me hopeful that someday I will be on that show. I mean, listen, the only way I'm ever going to get to that level of fame is if I get like a huge wave of support by a very large and very devoted fan base, which could happen. I mean, since I started making videos, it's not, I mean, I don't really any kind of following ever, but anyone who's walked up to me and said they like what I do, that's been cool. That's been great, actually. That really makes my day. But if you're looking for me to ever be on anything like, Hot Ones or anything like that, I got a long way to go before I can even see anything like that. I got a long way to go. But if on Saturday I was hopeful that one day that's going to be me standing up on that altar with the woman of my dreams, there's hope that I'll be on something like Hot Ones one day. Someday. I hope y'all liked this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on social media. As always, I am very humble I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend you know, always your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all. Okay. 607 all day, baby.